Hey, Arise. Welcome back to Let's Study. Today we are studying Judges chapter 19. And baby, this is one of the most interesting chapters in Judges, I personally believe. And by the end of it, if you have not read this yet, you're going to see why I say that. So before we dive into this one, this juicy Judges, okay? I'm going to tell you to go over to CandyNicoleArise.com and get your Bible study along to help you study this word. That way you can dive deeper into it. On the study guide is also journal prompts that help you to apply the word to your life. It's great to study the word, to read the word, but if you can't apply the word, then it gonna come right up out your system. Whenever you begin to read the word and apply it to your life, that's how you remember it, all right? And it sticks with you, and so does the message. And that is what the Lord is wanting, okay? So let's dive in, okay? It says, in those days, when there was no king in Israel, the Levite staying in a remote part of the hill country of Ephraim acquired a woman from Bethlehem in Judah as a concubine. But she was unfaithful to him and left him for her father's house in Bethlehem in Judah. She was there for 4 months. Then her husband got up and followed her to speak kindly to her and bring her back. He had his servant with him and a pair of donkeys, so he brought him to her father's house, and when the girl's father saw him, he gladly welcomed him. His father-in-law, the girl's father, detained him and stayed with him for 3 days. They ate, drank, and spent nights together. On the 4th day, they got up early in the morning and prepared to go, but the father said to the son-in-law, have something to eat to keep up your strength. Then you can go. So he sat down, and the two of them ate and drank together. And the girl's father said to the man, please agree to stay overnight and enjoy yourself. The man got up to go, but the father-in-law persuaded him. So he stayed and spent the night there again, got up early in the morning on the 5th day to leave. But the girl's father said to him, please keep up your strength. So they waited until late afternoon, and the two of them ate. The man got up to go to his concubine and his servant. When his father-in-law, the girl's father, said, look, night is coming. Please spend the night. See, the day is almost over. Spend the night here. Enjoy yourself. You can get up early tomorrow for your journey and go home. But the man was unwilling to spend the night. He got up, departed, and arrived opposite of Jabez, that is Jerusalem. The man had his 2 saddled donkeys and his concubine with him. When they were near Jabez, the day was almost gone. The servant said to the master, please, why not let us stop at the Jezebite city and spend the night here? But the master replied to him, I will not stop at a foreign city. There are no Israelites. Let's move on to Gebish. Come on, he said, let's try to reach one of these places and spend the night in Gebish or Reham. So they continued on their journey. The sun set and they neared Gebish in Benjamin. They stopped to go in and spend the night in Gebish. The Levite went in and sat down in the city square, but no one took him into their home to spend the night. In the evening, the old man came in from his work in the field. He was from the hill country of Ephraim, but was residing in Gebish, where the people were Benjamites. When he looked up and saw the travelers in the city square, the old man asked, where are you going and where do you come from? He answered, we are travelers from Bethlehem in Judah to the remote country of Ephraim, where I am from. I went to Bethlehem in Judah, and now I'm going to the house of the Lord. No one has taken me into their home. Although there's straw feed for the donkeys, I have bread and wine for me and my concubine and my servant with us. There's nothing that we lack. So in those times, Israelites welcomed travelers into their home. It was what they did. And when you welcomed them into your home, you prepared food for them, you fed their animals, and you also basically would make sure that they were well taken care of, protection, okay? So no one was letting them into their home. They traveled intentionally, did not go to a foreign country, okay, a foreign place. They went by their people. The Benjamites are supposed to be the tribe of Benjamin. That's supposed to be their people. So they're supposed to have their ways of letting them lodge in their house, but nobody's willing, okay? But there's an old man that finds them, and he said, okay, you look, don't spend the night in the town square. Come home with me, okay? Verse 20. Welcome, said the old man. I'll take care of everything you need. Only don't spend the night in the square. So he brought him to his house and fed the donkeys. Then he washed their feet, ate, they drank. While they were enjoying themselves, all of a sudden, wicked men of the city surrounded the house and beat on the door. They said to the old man, who was the owner of the house, bring out the man who came to your house so we can have sex with him. The owner of the house went and said to them, please don't do this evil, my brothers. After all, this man has come to my house. Don't commit this horrible outrage. Here, let me bring out my virgin daughter and the man's concubine now. Abuse them and do whatever you want to them, but don't commit this outrage thing against this man. But the men would not listen to him. So the man seized his concubine and took her outside to them. They raped her and abused her all night until morning. At daybreak, they let her go. Earlier that morning, the woman made her way back. As it was getting light, she collapsed at the doorway of the man's house where her master was. When her master got up in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to leave on his journey, there was the woman, his concubine, collapsed near the doorway of the house with her hands at the threshold. Get up, he told her. Let's go. But there was no response. So the man put her on his donkey and set out for home. When he entered his house, he picked up a knife and took hold of his concubine, cut her into 12 pieces limb by limb, and then sent her throughout the territory of Israel. Everyone who saw it said nothing like this has ever happened or has been seen since the day that Israel came out of the land of Egypt until now. Think over it, discuss it, and speak up. This blew my mind. Baby, I read this over and over and over. Did I read? Yes, I did. I read this right. It kind of reminds me of Lot and the situation that happened with Lot, but the angel intervened. This time no angel intervened. The women were thrown out. This also shows me how women were treated even more so in this time and how they had so low value. And they were offered up instead of the man, as if he had more value or worth than the virgin daughter or the concubine. The concubine was thrown out. He didn't think much of her. Why? Because when I read this, I read into it. The girl runs away from him. They said she was unfaithful. She ran away. She went back to her father's house. Why do women run away? In modern times, most of the time women run away because they're running away from an abuser. This woman was running away from her abuser also, because you can tell how her father's positioning himself. He's trying his hardest to keep that man there so he can see his daughter be safe. But at some point in time, the man catches on and he's like, I'm not staying here no more. I'm taking my woman and I'm leaving. So he gets up and he leaves. But all that detaining was the father being scared for his daughter and wanting her to stay. There was a reason behind that detaining. And whenever he goes over to this man's house, she's given very freely. She's thrown out. Okay? They rape her, have sex with her, abuse her, etc. In the morning, she barely makes it back to the house. Okay? She collapses at the doorway of the house with her hands on the threshold. Then he says to her, she's laying on the ground, looking like God knows what. Okay? Get up, he told her. Let's go. Yeah, you can see very much so why the father did not want his beautiful daughter to go back to this man. Okay? He puts her across the donkey. She's obviously dead because he traveled with her back home and she never woke up. He enters the house and then he cuts up her dead body into 12 pieces. Texas chainsaw murder in the Bible, but there was no chainsaws in that day. Do y'all understand? I can't even imagine this. He cut up her body with a knife. Do you understand how visualize? My mind don't want to. Okay? He cut her up into 12 pieces and then set her out like mail. Her body parts. He could have sent a letter. Why? Why, sir? I guess to make a, because I should have been, if I got an arm in the mail. Okay? All right. So, he cuts her up and then he tells them, Everyone who saw it said nothing like this has ever happened or has been seen since the day the Israelites came out of the land of Egypt until now. Think over it, discuss it, and speak up. The problem was that they began to compromise with sin from the very beginning. Chapter 1, they were compromising with sin from the beginning of Judges. Remember, they let the Canaanites in. They was like, y'all gonna be our servants. Then sometimes the Canaanites would let them into territories that were for them. They kept mixing and mixing with these people so much that they became just like them. The Benjamites have become just like everybody else. They're no longer having those value systems of an Israelite. They no longer carry, the tribe of Benjamin no longer carries respect, okay, that comes along with being an Israelite. They don't have those values anymore. It's completely and totally gone. They are wanting to have sex with men, have sex with concubines, hurt people, rape people. They're acting just like Sodom and Gomorrah, basically, because this is very similar to what happened with Lot in Sodom and Gomorrah, except there was an angel that intervened, except this time it was a woman that was a concubine that was just thrown out, okay? So we're seeing that's how it's a representation of Sodom and Gomorrah, but it's also a representation of their heart posture and what they have become. They've become just like everybody else that is around them. They are completely and totally not even compromised. They have gone over to the other side. And that's what we're seeing here. And so he's telling his people, look, think it over, discuss it, and speak up. Think about what's going on here. Y'all discuss it among yourself, and somebody is going to need to speak up. Y'all, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. So y'all come back and join me tomorrow for Judges chapter 20, when we're going to see exactly what's going to happen with this. I'll talk to you tomorrow.